Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Akashic Leadership Reading for the month of July. This is an Akashic reading, in fact, for the second half of 2026. So I'm thrilled today to share three energy codes that is going to help you when you get on December 31st, what you look back, you can be proud of what you have created. And the three energies, the energy codes, in fact, that we're going to talk about today. And then there are some reflection questions. So this is not only an Akashic leadership reading, but also a masterclass. And I invite you to, um, and I invite you to rewatch this masterclass and this Akashic reading so that it can help you see where you are, you think you are stuck, why you are inconsistent, and then you start moving aligned into the identity that lives the soul purpose, the identity that is creating what your soul has agreed to do so before your incarnation. So there are three codes, as I said, and I love these are from my Akashic Alignment Code. So the first one is Soul Vision, Soul Path, and Soul Purpose. These are the three energy codes, and they are the GPS for your human life on earth. The GPS to become the divine CEO of your life and of your spiritual business. They help you to stabilize the identity that lives the purpose, right? By the way, do you know the difference here between purpose and path and vision? So let me know here in the comments. So briefly, I'm going to talk about them. You have a soul vision. The soul vision is the vision that your soul has and has agreed to live before you incarnate. You know that you set contracts with your soul to live the best life here. So that's why you choose your family system, your ancestors. You make choices before you incarnate. So the vision means what you were meant to embody, the impact that you were meant to create on earth, and the wisdom you are destined to share. This is your vision. So before we continue here, I ask you, what is my soul vision? What is my soul vision? And your soul vision is always whispering to you through synchronicities, dreams, inner nudges, is always talking to you beyond the limitations, beyond the conditioning of the human being, even the conditioning that you have put yourself into along your life. So it's what you see, what you feel, what you sense, that inner knowing. This is your soul vision, that you are here to embody the impact that you are here to create. And what is this impact like? How do people respond to you when your soul is really commanding, leading? And right now, what vision is demanding now? What vision is leading? Is the vision of the divine CEO or of your divine identity or the survival identity? So let's talk about these two identities. And they intertwine sometimes because we navigate. And if you navigate between fragmented identities, it's because you have outgrown, but you are still living old identities. You are choosing. And you're going to see this leadership reading why you are choosing that, What are some identities that you might be still mirroring, and what choices you can make from now on so that you can, if you have a business or not yet, or if your spiritual business is is a baby or is an adult but you want to expand, so you were meant to embody these divine frequencies in the body, where the first energy, the first code is harmonization, harmonizing your divinity in your human body, knowing that your divinity can coexist with your humanness. This is what I call harmonization. So, first of all, be very clear. Number one, be very clear on your soul vision. What exactly is your soul vision like? And before setting goals, it's very important to learn more about your soul vision, because how can you honor your soul vision in small choices that you make on a daily basis? Wow. What about soul purpose? This is the flower of life. Soul purpose has to do with your existence, has to do with your beingness. When I say exists, it's not human exists, the existence of your soul. So when we were fragmented from source, so we are source. Our body, our cells remembers the divine frequency or source frequency. And the soul purpose is not about, I have a soul purpose. It's not about possessing. It's about being your soul purpose, living the divine intelligence that resides in the body that impacts others through your soul vision. And as you do so, you are choosing your soul path. So, soul path can change from season to season, but your purpose evolves as you leave behind outgrown identities. So, this is the evolution of our purpose, but in fact, you are evolving to reach higher frequencies of your purpose. Now, what I see clear for spiritual leaders, spiritual entrepreneurs, is to refine yourself in terms of what my soul purpose is like right now for me. What is asking for me to become, to be, and so that I can live it through the full potential of my soul. And there are four aspects related to your soul purpose. The first one is your Akashic blueprint. What is this? Your purpose is encoded within your Akashic Records. Your Akashic Records is not a crystal ball. It's guidance, it's pure divine wisdom that guides you 24/7. All right, so your soul purpose is there. Everything that you need to learn more about is there. And your Akashic blueprint is the origin, it's your soul origin. It's that framework, it's that blueprint that resides in your cells, in your body. And then has to do with your uniqueness. So your soul purpose is unique. And the more you know about your soul purpose and how, through your presence and through your existence, you impact others, the easier it'll be to live your soul purpose. Wow. Passion expression. It's your purpose is revealed through what excites you, what lights you up. Also, your sacred contribution. You're here to impact, uplift the collective. Do you know in which ways you impact others? And embodiment. This is the key. I see soulpreneurs, spiritual leaders doing a lot of inner work, but they forget to embody. And embody means to let go identities that I have outgrown so that I can embody the identity that lives the purpose now with ease, with grace, with financial wealth. Your purpose is not what you do, your purpose is who you become, who you remember, who you truly are. And that identity is the one that lives the purpose. So if you find difficulties in living your purpose, it's because you are trying to live your purpose through identity that it doesn't belong anymore. As I say, your purpose never changes, but your soul path changes. Soul path means the seasons that you are living. I will show you again the card. The seasons you are living. And that has to do with the body, with the energetics in your spinal cord. That is the structure of your beingness. When I say beingness, your spirit, your existence, your beingness anchored in a human body. Your skeleton is the structure and the architecture of your divine identity. It's where your future, that is not future, your future self resides. So what do you think of future self? It's not in the future, it's in your presence. So you have to be present to connect, to tune into the frequencies of your presence. This is where who you really are, that the frame, the blueprint of who you are. And that is the one that lives the purpose. That you have the vision, the vision board, everything that you do, but in fact, it resides in the present moment when you are in your divine presence. So everything's around energetics. Your business reflects your energetics. If you are focusing solely on strategies, you are going to force yourself to make it happen. And then what I see for these next 6 years that we have up to December 31st, how do you want to see yourself? What is the image, the identity, the architecture of this one that is realizing the dreams of the soul? Your business dreams. What lights you up? The passion, the divine spark that resides within you. So connect with this identity in your presence. You can take long deep breath into the heart so that you activate your soul blueprint. And when there is misaligned with your soul blueprint, or what I call Akashic blueprint, because there is a collection, let's say, of lifetimes, multidimensionality, these threads of wisdom available. And you bring all of it into this existence, this lifetime, this human body. And when you are misaligned with this, it's because you are navigating identities that it doesn't compound the divine CEO that you really are. And then I will say some pain points that you might find in your life and business. First of all, uh, you are inconsistent, maybe confused. What is my next step of expansion? How can I truly express my gifts? Or you have that narrow mindset that you have a number of gifts, but your gifts, in fact, are infinite. The more you evolve, you embody the divine CEO, that is the divine identity. Some people say the version of you that lives your purpose with full potential, creating financial wealth. So, those gifts are infinite and they are revealed. They are revealed. Even though when we're anchored in that identity, divine CEO, even though you feel fear or you face challenges, but the point is you don't collapse because you don't see yourself as the old identity, but you see, I am a human being and I face fear, I face challenge, I feel it, but you don't identify yourself with this. You are going through experiences, symptoms. This is what I learned through my own journey as a divine leader, an Akashic mentor, a woman that has fibromyalgia. And my energies, there are some days or weeks that's like a roller coaster. Fatigue, mental fatigue, exhaustion, body exhaustion, peaks of energy. So how can I create a business if I go through it? Well, first I decide who you are. So, what's your soul vision? But decide on your soul vision. Get clear on your soul vision from the identity of the divine CEO and write it down. This is the first thing. And then learn what are my gifts? What gifts are here to be revealed? That they facilitate the path, my soul path right now, so that I can generate not only impact, but also financial wealth. And in which ways this financial wealth can be translated, materialized through choices equals steps that I'm going to choose and take those steps on a daily basis because I am choosing from the divine CEO architecture. Makes sense? So, this is your homework. And this is the most important piece of homework that you can do if you want on December 31st, when you look back and you reflect upon the 6 month behind, you say, you can feel proud of yourself because you make the decision to reconnect with the divine CEO that you are, that leads your life, leads your business, leads expansion through the identity that is really meant to be. So that identity, that version, that self, that architecture, mind, heart, and visceral heart or body together, they create in unison. So you are teaching your nervous system on a daily basis. But you have to start making choices from now on from this divine CEO. Even if the divine CEO is going to feel fear, face doubts, it's normal. But you don't collapse because there is no identification and your daily choices are made rooted into your divine architecture. This is what I am really good at. And when you are making choice on a daily basis and materializing through actions, your new gifts will be revealed. Wow, that's so true. So Yes. So now let's go to some reflection questions. And these questions are going to North Star you from now on. This is what I have been downloading for this Akashic transmission, right? The first one is, where have I drifted away from my vision? So you have a vision, and that vision can become a vision board. But are you manifesting? In fact, what is creating that? I prefer the word create. What creates is the divine CEO or divine identity. So your soul vision is not something that you create, it's something that you remember. Why? Because if you have those desires, in fact, you have already realized in your multidimensionality or parallel lives in higher dimensions. So your soul remembers. Your soul remembers. When I say, where have I drifted away from my vision? When I say drifting, doesn't usually happen through one big decision. It happens through small choices, small commitments, compromises on every single day. If you're not repeating those choices, those commitments, because you are focusing or you are so busy on surviving instead of creating. Are you? Your soul vision is your creation on earth through your soul purpose and the contracts that you set with you, with Source, Mother Earth, your family system, and also with the other souls that are meant to be your clients that you have already set an agreement to serve them. Wow. Wow. Something else that makes you drift away from your vision is to focus on what is urgent. You are always putting out fire, instead of focusing what is truly important. Or this is very common. This is what I most see. You've been trying to fit into a life, into a framework that you have already outgrown. This is what I call fragment identities. You have already outgrown the survival identity, but focusing what is urgent, putting out daily fires makes you be stuck. Not because you are stuck, because you are choosing to be in that timeline that doesn't serve you and you have already outgrown. So, there are here three questions. First one, where have I settled for what's familiar instead of what's aligned? The conditioning body, the conditioning mind will always choose what is familiar. But the divine CEO chooses what is aligned. What dream have I quietly stopped believing in? Because the dream becomes a fantasy. Or you have the inner talk, how can I make that happen? How can I make that grow? How can I make more money or receive more money? Makes sense? If fear wasn't making my decisions, what would I choose differently today? If I decide to if I decide to choose from my divinity or the divine CEO, in which ways my choices would be different and would reflect my soul path right now. The Akashic insight is your vision has never left you. Never. You've simply become distracted by what your soul never asked you to carry. That's why you have pain or you have some diseases because you are carrying what is not meant for you. There are these loyalty patterns and behaviors and beliefs that are occupying spaces in the body that are meant to be occupied by the energetics of the divine CEO. So that's the first one, the first reflection question. Second, what part of my purpose have I been minimizing? So, in fact, many spiritual leaders, they don't abandon the purpose, but they shrink it. They are playing small because playing small or make my purpose smaller feels safe in my body. Then you hide gifts or you ignore gifts that are say, hey, I'm here. Or they water down their message. Or they ignore delivering message because, oh, people are already saying about that. Or people already know about this. Why should I speak about it? Or they postpone the work they know what they are here to do. This is the inconsistency because you are still navigating identities that you have outgrown. So, where am I still asking permission? What gift have I been treating as ordinary or common, ordinary? What part of my leadership have I been afraid to own? Wow, wow. The Akashic Insight, spiritual leaders. The world doesn't need a smaller version of your purpose. It needs the version you've been protecting. Wow, I'll repeat that. The world doesn't need a smaller version of your purpose. The world, it needs the version you've been protecting. Ooh. And reflection question. Number 3. What season am I actually in? Oh, I like this. One of the greatest sources of frustration that I see in this spiritual leaders community is trying to live in the wrong season or forcing things to happen, whereas the season is completely different from expansion. Some people think they are in a season of expansion. Others believe they are still preparing. Then they over prepare. And then I'm not saying that we don't have to, but if you over prepare because you are a perfectionist or you're afraid to be seen, you have the visibility fear. Or their soul has already called them into leadership, but you are still there preparing. So, are you planting? Are you growing? Are you blooming? Are you releasing or harvesting? Each season is a different framework, and each season requires a different kind of faith. But you receive in all seasons. If you don't receive in all seasons, because you are judging. And this is the Akashic Insight, spiritual leader. Stop judging your season. Learn how to honor. Get the gifts of the season. Receive the gifts. When we judge, we resist. We say no. We are closing doors. And what doors are you closing? Because you think you are not aligned, you do not match. You have to prepare and learn. Or the waiting, I'm going to talk about these identities. And when we judge, we play small. And then you are shrinking yourself instead of expanding your capacity to receive, to let go, to expand, to embody leadership. There are eight capacities to expand. And if you keep judging the season that you are, and then you judge the season, judge your audience, judge people, judge your family, judge whatever, money, whatever it is, you are closing doors. Where do you want to be on December 31st? So the Akashic insight is stop judging your season, honor it, and receive the gifts. And as you do so, you can even fasten the process. And then you quantum leap. Wow. Wow. Number 4, what identity no longer belongs on my path? So, I like this. Every new level requires an identity funeral. You have to bury old identities. When I say funeral or bury old identities, bury everything that makes part of it, the body of these identities, the mindset, the feelings, the constrictions, the resistance, the habits, the behavior, the inner talk, everything. The architecture of old frequencies. You have to bury, empty yourself so that your soul, your DNA can remember your divine identity, who you truly are. So, what version, ask yourself and write down, what version of me can no longer continue? Is the overthinker or the rescuer? I have to save people, rest people, my family members. This is a very common identity, the rescuer. Each soul has its own contract for this lifetime. The perfectionist, the one who waits, the waiter, waiting for the money to come so that I can invest. The money will flow in, for example, talking about it, if you decide now that you are the one that receives, even if physically the money is not there, but you say, I'm going to do this. And when you start living it through daily choices, money will pop in, flow in. Why? Because you stop waiting and you become the one who receives. Or the one that always doubting your path, doubting people, doubting. You don't trust. You are the controller. In fact, all these identities, outgrown identities, you have already outgrown. You don't need more healing. What you need is to become the one that you learn about your divine CEO and embody it. Embodiment is the key. And in the process of embodiment, your soul remembers in the body the source frequency that you are. Wow. So ask yourself, who have I become out of protection rather than truth? What are the secondary gains of choosing those identities that are protecting me? If you have strong resistance to let go because they are secondary gains, what are they? Why are they relevant to you right now? Who have I become out of protection rather than truth? These reflection questions, they are GPS. They work on your body energetics, work in the dance of identities. You can never stabilize your divine identity or divine CEO in your business and generate 10K, 100K monthly if we're still on the dance floor dancing these identities. What identity or identities keep recreating the life I'm trying to leave behind? And when I say what I think of this architecture, you have to let go of the architecture of these identities. Wow. The Akashic insight is you don't stabilize a new identity by holding on to the old one. That's it. Wow. And number 5, reflection question number 5. What is my soul asking me to commit to before December? To commit today. So after we finish this transmission, you can rewatch and then you write down what you need to and make the decision. And you make the commitment. What is that commitment? And what is the action? The first action that you are going to take after this transmission. Because your soul is never asks you to be perfect or ask for perfection. It, it doesn't even ask for discipline. It asks for devotion because discipline asks you, how can I force myself? Motivation is external. When you are inspired, when your divine seal is there, the identity, and then you feel inspired every day because you don't have a job. You are doing what lights you up. And then this is what I call devotion. You become obsessed, but that obsession is devotion. You are devoted to being who you really are. And what matters to keep anchoring that in my body is called devotion. All the attitude, the inner talk, the actions, the mindset, the the heart, the body, the nervous system, everything working congruence through devotion. So it's not another course, not another strategy, not another sign. It's a decision. And I'd like that to comment here. What's your decision? What would change if I fully trusted what I already know? Wow. What one commitment would transform the next 6 months? Share in the comments. Share. The Akashic Insight. Your future is not waiting for clarity. It's waiting for your commitment and devotion. So I invite you to close your eyes and take long deep breath. Let's anchor what you are receiving, we are receiving here today. And take long deep breath into the heart center, activating your soul origin, the blueprint of your soul, activating source frequency. And keep your eyes closed. I invite you to think that we are now on December 31st. You honored your soul. You stopped negotiating. You trusted yourself. You trust in the embodiment process of your divine identity. Each day you were committed to be fully devoted to the divine CEO that you are. And that make you be consistent. You became the leader your soul had been calling forward. And step into the body of that leader, of this leader. Feel the presence of the divine leader, the divine CEO that you became. And then you look back at the version of yourself that you are here today. What would your divine CEO thank you for beginning this month, the month of July? And what must you leave behind today so that the divine CEO can finally emerge? And there is a journaling prompt for you, spiritual leaders. My commitment to my soul between now and December is, and then you complete. Wow. 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 So, the link to join my free membership for spiritual leaders aligned to thrive is here. You receive oracle drops every week, these transmissions, and some guidance to start stabilizing into the divine CEO identity. Yes, if you want more, if you want deeper work, working closer to me, I have the paid membership and private mentorships. I'm glad and fulfilled to be here delivering this Akashic leadership transmission. And I am excited to hear about your decisions and commitments from now on. Whew. Thank you very much. I love you. I am Angela Cruz, your Akashic mentor.